Hello, welcome to E3 2017. I'm Jane. This is Luke.
Hello.
And Life is Strange Before the Storm is a prequel.
Yes.
Set before Life is Strange.
Found somebody to mend you.
And we have not played it, but seen it played here at E3. Luke, I know you've played Life is Strange.
Yes,
I played
yeah.
Life is Strange. You're a fan.
You don't know who the fuck I am!
What are you doing? Get that gun away from me, psycho! No!
We're both fans.
I don't know about you, but I had my reservations about a Life is Strange prequel.
Absolutely. I mean, do we even really need a prequel when we sort of know what happens in Life is Strange? Also, it's a different developer, and you know they obviously made such a good job of the first one. It's a little bit, you don't want to hand that over to someone else necessarily.
Makes you wary.
Makes you a little bit wary. And also, we know that the voice actress for Chloe is
Ashley
not
Birch.
coming back due to an actors' union strike action.
I don't know. I might still be hungover from last night.
Yes.
So there are reasons to be fearful, and yet, Jane.
Yes.
And yet there are reasons to be optimistic. Here are some.
Where will I go when the only hope?
So I wasn't sure I wanted the full story of what happens to Rachel.
Because it's not good.
It's not good.
It's not a happy story.
No, I don't need the details of how she ended up where she ended up.
Check out that note. Rachel in the dark room. What does this even mean?
It would be very sad and a very upsetting game.
Yes, it would.
I imagine. The reason to be optimistic is firstly, that's not exactly the period of time the game deals with,
Yeah.
but also the developer said to us that it's not strictly Rachel's story. It's not the story of Rachel, although Rachel is important.
Yeah. It's the story of Chloe.
So far, what I've learned about you is that you're into acting, lying, and playing games.
Which to me is much more exciting because, at least from what we've seen already, it's kind of not the same Chloe that you get in Life is Strange. She obviously she's younger. The game is set 3 years before Life is Strange, but she looks younger as well. She hasn't quite got that sort of rock and roll hair. There's a point in the gameplay that we saw where a character tells her that visually with her like dress style and stuff that she's trying too hard.
Look at that getup. Studs. You're trying too hard.
We've all been there.
I'll see you later.
Whatever.
She is troubled. Like, her father died 2 years ago in the timeline of Life is Strange at this point.
Today was the best day I've had since my dad died.
And so she is troubled and moody, I guess.
Yeah, she's having a hard time.
She's having a hard time, but
But
as
it's-
is everyone
yeah.
apparently
But
in the
Chloe,
world of
Chloe
Life is
was like
Strange.
really the breakout star of Life is Strange. She was the
Yes.
character that everyone sort of really took to their hearts, I think. And so spending more time with that character can only be a good thing.
Yeah, isn't it weird being inside her head?
I can't believe Firewalk is playing a show at the old mill. Mom would kill me if she knew I was out here.
In the first game, obviously, you're intimate with the thoughts and feelings of Max because you're inside her head,
Yeah.
and you're playing her in the prequel because it's Chloe's origin story as the cool girl in Life is Strange. You're inside her head hearing her thoughts.
That guy's a dick. If I want a shirt, I'm going to need to get creative.
That's right.
And it's really weird.
Chloe's so like enigmatic and
Yeah.
mysterious. She's just like a nexus of drama.
Yeah.
So when you hear inside her head, it's actually a little bit jarring in the gameplay we
Yeah.
saw because you'll think like, oh, I don't think that person is ready to open up to me yet.
Rachel's been acting kind of standoffish ever since we left the park. What's her deal?
And you're like, whoa, Chloe has an inner life.
Yeah.
I thought she was just pure mystery.
Where will I go?
So I feel like Rachel also might have some interesting stuff going on though as well, because in what we have seen, which admittedly isn't very much, like we know that Rachel was like the popular girl at school and kind of preppy and on the surface of it not having a very hard time. Obviously from Life is Strange we know that that isn't the entire story, and this looks like it's going to dig a little bit more into that.
What are we doing?
Excuse me?
Last I checked, you're supposed to be Chloe Price. Yet we've been ditching now for hours, and we haven't even gotten wasted yet.
When we first meet Rachel in what we saw, she's showing up in the most unlikely of places, which is this super dingy dive, hard rock, like illegal punk gig.
Hey! Dickhead!
Which Chloe is at because, you know, Chloe's trying very, very hard to be a bad girl.
It's exactly Chloe's scene,
It
but
is,
you
yeah.
wouldn't have thought it was Rachel's scene.
Yeah, and then she rocks up and she's got cool hair and
So cool.
wicked rad threads.
Yeah, and she knows what she's doing.
Rachel? Come on!
And Chloe's like, Rachel, it's you. People aren't always what they seem.
Yeah, I'd been judging everyone. I enjoy the way Life is Strange, or specifically Life is Strange Before the Storm, plays with those high school tropes, because we all know like the high school tropes, the cheerleader and...
We've all seen Breakfast Club.
Right, thank
haven't
you.
We? Watch Breakfast Club.
Chloe, in fact, even calls Rachel the school princess.
I know you're the school princess and all, with the DA daddy and the perfect grades.
So you have an idea of what her trope is meant to be, what her archetype is meant to be, but at the same time, she's the cool girl that you have the cool girl crush on, and you know, she's the one you want to emulate and whose clothes you want to borrow. They have this very, like, to me, what felt like a very authentic conversation where they're having a nice day and then she just goes quiet.
Yeah.
And Chloe's really frustrated and angry, and she's like, you can't just stop talking to me and not explain why.
No, I don't understand. You can't just turn on me for no reason.
And I'm like, I've been on both sides of that conversation.
Life is Strange is just basically like a big empathy machine, and you're watching that scene play out and you're like, oh, I see why Chloe's upset, but you're like, she's really not saying the right thing to Rachel. Rachel's also having a hard time.
Yeah.
So I feel like that the precision in the writing was really there. I also think it's interesting how it looks like in Before the Storm, Rachel is going to be that cool older girl who you want to emulate and learn from to Chloe. But of course in Life is Strange, Chloe is sort of that person for Max. So it's almost like a reverse passing of the baton,
It's
if that makes
the
sense.
the cycle of
the cycle
cool girl
cool
and
girlness.
Mentor and mentee.
There is always a Padawan and always a master. Cool girl.
Where will I go?
And speaking of nuanced characters that go beyond the cliche, how about that Frank Bowers?
Yo, Frank.
Hey!
Chloe?
I know your name, you idiot. You bought pot for me every month for a year.
Frank
Bowers
Bowers
is
back.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, he is very complicated.
He is.
Not totally sympathetic, but complicated.
Yeah, in what we saw, he's very confrontational. He's not very nice to Chloe. He's having
But then
a hard
he's a
time.
drug dealer, I
He
suppose.
is a drug dealer, and he's
so-
having a hard time at her about money. But then, he does obviously sell her some drugs at the end.
You're a good man, Frank.
No. I'm not.
Which is, all not really strictly to the betterment of her. But then at the end of that scene in the dive bar, he sort of helps her out. He gets her out of a slightly sticky situation.
Let me go, Frank! Not gonna happen. Calm down. Come on, man!
It's probably going too far to say he's got a heart of gold, but like you were saying, that's what I love about Life is Strange, is that nothing is quite as it seems, and everything is complicated, complicated. So I'm encouraged that it looks like Before the Storm might be about to nail that complexity.
Where will I go?
Earlier, Jane, you were talking about that conversation that Chloe and Rachel have.
Yes,
where
in the
they're
junkyard.
In the junkyard, where they're bearing their souls to each other.
I've heard that actors are moody, but wow, Rachel. I'm not moody. I just need some space. Is that all right with you?
And about how you felt it had that sort of authentic teenage dramatic tone to it.
Yeah.
And that is just probably the thing I liked the most about the first Life is Strange, is that, and this might surprise you, Jane, but I'm not a teenager.
What?
And
It's not what it said on your CV.
Oh no, rumbled. Hang on, what about labour laws and stuff? We'll get into that later. The game always really felt that it had that just smack of authenticity in just really nailing the teenage experience and how that feels. And that was down to everything, the texts that Max gets and the things on her wall and the things that she's into and the emails and the interactions she has with her friends. And I saw a couple of things in the gameplay for Before the Storm that really gave me hope that they're going to hit that authenticity again. One moment in particular was when Chloe is at this gig and she finds like a secluded place to watch the show, and she's just listening to the music and she just sort of lies back and is just like fully blissing out. And like watching it felt really nostalgic because I've been there. I've been to shows like that. I've had that feeling where it just feels like a really profound moment for you. So I thought that was just a really nice moment and hopefully indicative of the kind of stuff that we're going to be seeing more in the game.
Where will I go?
Now, to come back to one of those reasons I was initially somewhat cautious about the Life is Strange prequel. We know Ashley Birch, the original voice actress behind Chloe, is not the voice of Chloe in Before the Storm.
I'm fine.
Relax. You bumped into me, remember?
Yep. My bad, dude.
So they have another voice actress, and she is, from the demo that we've seen, a reasonable approximation.
Hey, I'm sorry about the beer, okay?
Not good enough.
Like a very good impression of. I think returning players will be able to tell the difference, but
Yeah.
it is subtle.
If you're a fan, but again, it is subtle, and I think although Ashley Birch's performance was really, really spectacular, what was perhaps more powerful than that was the writing around it. You know, like the lines that she was given to deliver. So hopefully, if the lines can step up, and you know, there's no reason to suspect that the person who's filling those very large shoes won't be able to do just as excellent a job with the voice acting. It certainly seemed good from what we heard.
Yes.
And we did see a couple of different scenes of different emotional mood, if you like.
Yes.
Rachel? Hey, are you all right?
The gameplay we saw almost played like a reel, like a CV for someone who is
The show
a
reel.
new voice actor.
I've got
yeah.
range. I can do
Range.
moody. I can do highly emotional.
Rachel, wait! Don't go! Why not? Because I don't want to ruin this the way I ruin everything else in my life.
I mean, that's highly emotional. I think is where the challenge will be for the new voice actress,
Yeah.
because towards the end of Life is Strange, it is really like right
So,
there,
oh my God.
very intense,
So overwrought.
very overwrought, and I think Ashley Birch absolutely nailed that.
Yeah.
So it is a challenge, but from what we've seen, the new actress is equal to it.
Where will I go?
It's hard to know if Before the Storm is going to deliver the same emotional punch as Life is Strange, but what I can objectively verify is that when we were sat watching someone else play the game for 20 minutes with a bunch of other members of the press, I did slightly tear up.
Me too.
Please. I don't want to be alone anymore.
Yeah.
There's a point
Got
where
me right here.
I was welling up, and I was like, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to cry at E3.
It's okay, Jane.
It's okay.
Don't be
Don't cry. And then Chloe starts crying, and then
Oh.
and close up on Chloe's face, tears stream. I'm just
Then
like,
everyone's crying, and then we're crying.
yeah. So we're not allowed back to the Square Enix booth.
Yeah.
They're very embarrassed for how much we were crying.
I can't say why, and I know it isn't fair, but I can't be your friend right now. Can't or don't want to. Does it matter? I'm really sorry. Goodbye, Chloe.
But it was really moving. which
Hopefully,
is
yeah.
more moving than you would expect.
It's the only
from an
time I've
E3
cried
demo.
at E3,
Yeah.
apart from that time when all the lunch was gone. But hopefully, yeah, indicative of some real, just emotional
Feels.
gut punches.
Yeah. Bring us the feels.
Totes
Life is
emotion.
Strange.
Hurt us in our hearts, please.
Where will I go?
This final item
Yeah.
in the reasons to be cautiously optimistic about Before the Storm, Luke.
Yep.
And this is a long shot.
A
so
crazy long
let me
shot.
give you the pitch.
I love it already.
Right.
Go.
So Max has time powers, time travel powers, time rewinding powers in Life is Strange.
Yes, she does.
We know that Chloe doesn't have any kind of superpowers, no supernatural time bending powers in Before the Storm.
No powers.
It's not that kind of a game.
Releasing that brake would roll the car right out from under that tool.
But it clearly exists in a universe where magical time powers are a thing.
Unexplained phenomena are happening.
I don't want to get stuck in time.
The Amazing Spider-Max.
Up to here, we've assumed that Rachel is going to die, but we exist in a universe where those powers happen, and we don't really know how Max got her powers. You know, they're still
No.
mysterious, even having completed Life is Strange. So, what if you could save Rachel, but at the cost of never reuniting in the same way with Max for the events of Life is Strange?
Unthinkable.
You would have to choose.
Let Rachel die. Unthinkable.
Well, I mean,
Max and Chloe is sacred.
Luke's
I'm done here.
already made his choice.
You don't ask a girl out and then not buy her a drink.
That does actually sound pretty interesting.
It would be interesting. It would be hard not to to choose Max because that is the more important game. But it would be hard to be like, I'm sorry, Rachel, but things gotta be the way things gotta be.
The thing is,
you're gonna get buried in the junkyard.
It wouldn't be a Life is Strange game without some unbelievably difficult choice at the end.
Right.
So even if it's not something supernatural, like I'm girding my loins, you know.
Are you saying that we're going to be in some way responsible for what happens to Rachel in a way that Chloe was not previously aware? Yeah.
And that really affects the choice I made with Chloe at the end of Life is Strange.
You're going to have to go back and rethink all your decisions in Life is Strange.
What have I done with my life?
Even if it's not the time travel save Rachel thing, that there are a lot of interesting things they could do with or without returning to that choice. To that time travel save Rachel choice.
Fuck this place.
There you have it. Some things to think about and some reasons for why we are cautiously optimistic for Life is Strange before the storm, and I'm going to play the hell out of it. Regardless.
I mean, it's all canon, right? So it has to be played.
Must be played.
Even if we hate every minute.
And then Life is Strange 2 also at some point.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
look
that's
forward
super
to that.
exciting. Yeah.
Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you're excited for Life is Strange before the storm as well. And we've been Jane and Luke for Outside Xbox.
See you next time.
Thanks for watching this video from E3 2017. I know there's a lot of videos coming out of LA this week, but I reckon the best one all week is this one right here in front of me. You're going to want to watch this one.
Wrong. You actually want to watch this video from Outside Extra, our sister channel, which is superior in every way. Don't listen to Andy or his box of lies.
You could watch both of them. Why not click on both of them? And then you will have both videos and we're both good. Everyone's the same and good.